At first glance, this appears to be a simple vacation photo of a family enjoying their time together. However, what makes it intriguing is the presence of a 14-year-old boy who would later become known as Osama bin Laden. This seemingly ordinary image conceals the future leader of one of the most feared terrorist organizations in history, responsible for devastating attacks, including the infamous September 11th. A seemingly casual moment captured in a movie theater actually reveals something much deeper. This photograph shows captured Nazi soldiers being forced to watch footage of the atrocities committed in concentration camps. Organized by the Allies after World War II, these screenings were meant to confront them with the horrors of the regime they had once supported. What looks like a typical classroom photo from the late 19th century holds a striking revelation. Seated in the middle row among his peers is a young Adolf Hitler during his school years in Austria. Decades later, he would become one of history's most infamous and feared leaders. This image might look like a casual class photo from 1998, but hidden within it is an astonishing detail. Among the students, in the background, stands a young Kim Jong-un, the future supreme leader of North Korea. At the time, he was attending an elite school in Switzerland under an assumed identity, living among classmates who had no idea of the significant role he would play in global politics. This image of wartime volunteers may seem unremarkable, but at its center stands a young Mahatma Gandhi. Long before becoming a symbol of peaceful resistance, he led the Natal Indian Ambulance Corps during the Zulu Rebellion in South Africa in 1896, demonstrating his early commitment to service and justice. At first glance, this appears to be a simple baseball team photo from 1911. However, the reality is much darker. These men were inmates on death row at the Wyoming State Penitentiary. Their survival depended on their performance in the games, with each victory postponing their executions. For them, every match was a desperate fight to extend their lives just a little longer. What appears to be a tender moment between a mother and her child hides a sinister truth. This image was taken at a human zoo in Paris in 1890, where people from different ethnic backgrounds were displayed as exhibits, reinforcing racist theories that sought to establish false hierarchies between races. This disturbing practice was a cruel product of colonialist ideology. A smiling man holding a lunchbox may seem like an ordinary sight, but the reality is far more chilling. This man, Harold Agnew, holds in his hands the core of the Fat Man bomb, the nuclear weapon that would devastate Nagasaki in 1945. A seemingly mundane moment amidst one of history's most catastrophic events. Often dismissed as comical, this image reveals a surprising secret. Adolf Hitler, known for his commanding oratory, meticulously rehearsed his speeches. He posed for his personal photographer, Heinrich Hoffmann, to ensure his gestures appeared authoritative. Embarrassed by these images, Hitler ordered their destruction, but Hoffmann secretly preserved them, recognizing their historical significance. Amid a sea of raised arms saluting the Nazi regime, one man defiantly stood with his arms crossed. This 1936 photograph captures August Landmesser, who silently resisted the oppressive dictatorship, a small but powerful act of defiance during an era of forced conformity. At first glance, this appears to be just another man captured in a candid moment. But this is Joseph Goebbels, Nazi propaganda minister and Hitler's closest advisor. His startled expression is due to the realization that the photographer capturing the moment was Jewish, revealing an unguarded moment of discomfort in one of the regime's most fervent propagandists. These photographs depict the final known moments of young explorer Michael Rockefeller, who vanished in 1961 while researching in New Guinea. Reports suggest he was captured and possibly assimilated into or even consumed by a local tribe. Years later, an enigmatic photo emerged showing a white man among the indigenous people, fueling ongoing speculation about his fate. This photo captures a seemingly ordinary classroom, yet it marks a significant milestone in history. In 1948, George McLaurin became the first African American admitted to the University of Oklahoma, forced to sit apart from his white classmates. His presence shattered racial barriers in education and paved the way for future generations. At first, this might look like a simple act, someone pouring water into a pool. However, in reality, it captures a horrific event. Motel manager Jimmy Brock dumped acid into a swimming pool where black and white individuals were swimming together in protest against racial segregation, a cruel attempt to enforce discriminatory laws. This peaceful painting of Munich may seem like an ordinary artwork. However, it was created by Adolf Hitler in 1914, before he joined the German army in World War I. At that time, he was merely an aspiring artist, attempting to make a living by selling watercolor paintings, a stark contrast to the infamous role he would later play in history. At first, this appears to be an image of a frail man in a wheelchair, but it holds a significant historical moment. This is the final photograph of Vladimir Lenin after suffering multiple strokes that left him incapacitated. Just days later, he passed away, marking the end of a revolutionary era in Soviet history. This appears to be an innocent moment between a mother and her young son. However, the chilling truth is that, at the age of 3, this boy witnessed his father murder his mother. He told the police, "Daddy shot Mommy," but no one believed him. It wasn't until 21 years later that her remains were found buried in the backyard, confirming the horrifying truth he had known all along. A frightened young girl posing for a photo, except this is no ordinary picture. In 1990, 14-year-old Regina K. Walters was captured by Robert Ben Rhodes, the notorious truck stop killer. This haunting image was taken just moments before he took her life, one of the most chilling reminders of his gruesome crimes. A seemingly routine elevator surveillance photo from 2013 holds an eerie mystery. It captures Elisa Lam behaving erratically, hours before she vanished. Days later, her lifeless body was discovered inside the hotel's water tank, following complaints from guests about the water's unusual taste and smell. To this day, the circumstances surrounding her death remain unresolved. At first glance, this appears to be a leader visiting an injured soldier. However, the man, with a frostbitten face, is making an effort to salute Adolf Hitler despite his agonizing pain, a chilling display of devotion to the Nazi regime. A collection of wedding rings may seem ordinary, but these bands were stripped from Holocaust victims by the Nazis. The gold, once a symbol of love and commitment, was melted down to finance the same machinery that carried out their extermination. Smiling military officers and government officials seemed to be enjoying a break, but these individuals were the staff of Auschwitz, one of the most notorious concentration camps in history. Their casual demeanor, despite the horrors they facilitated, raises disturbing questions about the depths of human detachment in the face of unimaginable cruelty. A cheerful selfie in nature. However, this is one of the last known photos of Chris Kremers and Lisanne Froon, two Dutch travelers who mysteriously vanished while hiking the Pianista Trail in Panama in April 2014. Months later, their scattered belongings and remains were found deep in the jungle. Yet the true events leading to their tragic fate remain an eerie and unsolved mystery.